Hello, everyone. Thank you all for attending. I'm really excited to be presenting Fisheyes today, an AI software that analyzes video footage to improve future spatial planning. Our team is comprised of a group of designers and technologists from Parsons School of Design and the Design and Technology program. Fisheyes emerged from an AI UI design jam hosted by Verizon and Parsons. And since then, we've completed the NYC Media Lab Combine program, as well as Verizon's Connected Future. My name is Vivian, and I do UX and storytelling. This is Hannah, strategy, UX, and UI, and Tong, who is our technologist. Most museums are plagued by a steady but drastic drop in attendance and engagement. Over the past 10 years, museums have seen a 20% decline in attendance. Without the tools necessary to understand their audience, a solution cannot be found. As attendance and engagement decline, so the livelihood of these cultural and educational institutions. So, how might we create a tool that gives museums concrete and reliable data about their visitors' behavior to improve future spatial planning?
So far, we've conducted over 100 interviews, user tests, and done extensive market research. These are a list of companies we've spoken to thus far, 92 of which are museums, as well as retailers and event spaces. We've talked to real people in the industry, like Cassandra Abel from the Tampa Museum of Art, who believe that her team can utilize this data, as well as the museum overall, to improve the visitor experience. We've expanded to 4 key roles within the museum with our expanded understanding of the museum infrastructure. We believe that marketing personnel, curatorial staff, security and IT, as well as visitor services can utilize Fisheyes to help with targeting, layout optimization, an added layer of security, as well as measuring the success of the overall exhibits and museum itself.
Fisheyes uses existing surveillance infrastructure within museums. Oftentimes, these footage are captured, they're stored, unused, then deleted. Fisheyes turns that into useful data. Using Fisheyes, video footage is analyzed using facial recognition software looking for age, gender, gaze, and emotion, as well as mapping out visitors' path and dwell time. This data is parsed then displayed on a comprehensive and straightforward dashboard to be used freely throughout the museum to aid in the planning process.
Our prototype has come quite a long way, from paper to initial mock-up and ultimately working with the Rubin Museum in New York to come up with our final design. Users can log in, see the entire museum, and then dive into different floors and ultimately different rooms to see path tracking by age, or also by average and aggregate. They can see the dwell time on different items within, how many seconds, how many views. This can also be broken down by age. Users can see security when users pass the security line over 100 times, or if there's an ADA compliance issue. Users can also look at photos, where they've been taking and what direction different age groups are taking them in. And then ultimately, users can customize their dashboard based on their specific job description and see the entire suite that we have available.
In the US, adults over the age of 18 are spending a total of $54.2 billion a year on leisurely activities. Out of that, $39.6 billion is spent on experiential activities like visiting museums as well as music and sporting events. If these spaces are spending just 10% of their yearly revenue, there's a total of $3.9 billion for Fisheyes. Fisheyes exists at the center of retail analytics, security and surveillance, market research, cloud services, and data parsing. What sets us apart is that Fisheyes is low maintenance while allowing interdepartmental communication. Because these different departments have their own agendas and priorities, Fisheyes eases that communication process by providing unbiased and reliable data. Fisheyes also allows museums to conduct demographic research without any additional resources, which may oftentimes prevent museums from being able to conduct them. Each year, museums suffer from a loss of $6 million due to theft. With Fisheyes, museums can feel secure knowing that there's an added layer of security that beyond just the traditional surveillance systems. Overall, Fisheyes' goal is to improve visitor services, ultimately to drive engagement, membership, and donorship. Our revenue model is subscription-based of monthly payments with an initial licensing fee. Because museums come in all different sizes, Fisheyes is scalable so that additional seats can be bought to suit every museum's needs. Our next step going forward is to develop an augmented reality feature that will be implemented into the dashboard. This will allow museum staff to see real-time data throughout museums on a more granular level.
So far, we've applied for the Knights Foundation, but are looking for an additional investment of $500,000, as well as developers to help continue with our work on the dashboard. Thank you so much.